Hello, and welcome to the Best of Five podcast. We are your hosts, Grant Crytzer and Grace Erskine. Join us each week as we dive into the world of NCAA women's college volleyball. This week, we are joined by my brother, our brother, Grant Crytzer. Come along as we recount our amazing experience at the Penn State Nebraska game, share our bumps and spikes of our days, and prep for another great weekend of volleyball. We hope you enjoy the sights and sounds of Rec Hall as much as we did. Why?
Okay, Penn State push. 17-10. Push. Hold this lead. Hold this lead. Stay aggressive. Great. Yes.
Like, can you imagine if we're here for the number one seed to drop to Penn State? That would be great.
Oh my God. Nebraska fans are here in big numbers. Great set. Great set.
Great set. 18-11. Great set.
And better swing by Merritt Beeson. Oh my God, great serve. Great, better pass. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yes! Oh. Come on, stay with it. Yes. Taylor Trammell, back to her. Oh. Yes! Zoe Weatherington. Yes! Work.
Taylor Trammell always running off.
Always running off. Why?
Taylor, you follow us.
Yes, thanks, girl. We love you. Oh my God. Good serve. Oh, terrible ball. Push. Yeah! Allie Holland! No block.
2011, no block.
Came to play. Let's go. Sorry, I stepped on your foot.
I know. It's about damn time.
It's about damn time. And go, PSU.
I don't want to thank you. You're welcome.
No, I don't either. Yeah, so let's just set the scene of what happened on Friday because it was so lit. So we climb up the whole way to the track, which was really narrow at points too.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't a full-on walking track.
Yeah.
Well, and you couldn't go all the way around because of the camera.
No. Yeah, that was annoying and a bit overwhelming. But once I thought we found a really great spot in the corner.
Because the incline was very important.
Yes.
Because at not all the spots on the track was there an incline. So thankfully we were in literally the second row of the track.
Yes.
But we could still kind of see over people.
Yeah, for sure. In those first two sets, Penn State just played. I mean, the first set especially, Penn State just played lights out.
Oh, yeah.
I just think they looked so even and smooth. Like,
yes.
Everybody was getting kills. Everyone was getting digs. Our house out there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, their middles were fully involved. The offense was spread out. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
And then I think the second set, it was just a little bit more competitive. I think Nebraska woke up and made some adjustments. And Mac Pedraza just started to go away from the middles.
Yes.
And then that's what killed them the rest of the game.
That was so sad.
It was so sad. Yeah. And I get it. Their serve receive kind of crumbled a little bit, I think especially in the third. Yes, it was manic. They wanted to win so bad, and I love that, but it got desperate instead of controlled and trusting.
Yeah, and they just wanted to rely on Jess Merzick too much, which can work even if like you're in system and you're not running your middles and Jess Merzick is on fire, which she tends to be, then yeah, like that's gonna work. But in a situation where you're playing the number one team in the country, you are going to have to spread things out and not just rely on maybe one of your, probably their best attacker, I would say.
I would say. I thought Cameron Hanna played really well, their other outside. Yeah. That's the thing. They have all of the weapons. They have Cameron Hanna. They have Zoe Weatherington. They have Taylor Trammell and Allie Holland in the middle. And they just ride Jess a lot. Yeah. And I get it. She's great.
Absolutely.
But if they're going to go far in the tournament and they're going to compete and beat the number one team in the country, they can't rely on that.
No, and they also, yes, she's great out there, but Zoe can be great too. And Taylor can be, you have other players that can also be great. So spread it out.
Right. And give them the opportunity.
Yeah.
We kind of ran into this over the weekend with our high school team where yes, our outsides were rolling. They were getting tons of kills and they were producing, but also we weren't getting our middles involved at all.
Yeah.
So we ended up losing.
Because it gets predictable.
Yes, so predictable. Teams can just camp out on the pin, get a solid block up, and go from there.
Yeah. And I mean, that's what was so helpful the first and second set for Penn State was Zoe Weatherington.
Yes.
Eating it up out there. She was so big in like getting the crowd even more hype and these monster blocks, like crazy kills. She came out on fire and was very helpful in those first two sets.
Yes.
So helpful. And she made everyone around her look good.
Exactly. Yes.
She gave everyone an opportunity because the block was so scared of her.
No, that literally.
Everyone else had a chance to get in a few good kills.
Exactly. And I thought Jillian Grimes, the libero, was stellar in the first two sets. She had some crazy digs. She was bringing the energy.
Yes, the energy was so sweet to see live. I could, she was hyping us up, I feel like. You know?
Literally.
Oh, yeah.
I agree. Yeah. And I think the crowd at Rec Hall was just like the seventh man that got them over the finish line in those first two sets. But I mean, credit to Nebraska. They are so good.
Oh my God.
For me, yes, I was cheering for Penn State, but also it was just such great volleyball that you have to applaud both sides. Mm-hmm. I'm not mad that Nebraska won. I was cheering for Penn State, but it was just such great volleyball that either way, it was so amazing and beautiful to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have an issue of when I'm watching, especially Big Ten teams, I can't cheer for just one team.
Yes.
I know.
I just love all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Same.
And I love a lot of other teams that aren't in the Big Ten too.
Same.
It's just when you have the top 10 teams or even top 25 teams going against each other, it's just so fun that I can't choose.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's just watching, them make great plays on both sides. You can't help but cheer for both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when you say credit to Nebraska, I think, yes, that was really cool to see a team get trampled on in the first two sets.
Yes.
They didn't really, I thought they looked a little frantic in the first set.
Absolutely.
But after that, even the third set, they weren't freaking out. And you could just see their confidence, which I think is so cool, especially to see live. Someone being so calm in such a chaotic situation.
Yeah. Definitely. I think it was in the third set. I was really watching their coaching staff on the bench, and I saw Jordan Larson a lot. Just if Penn State would make a good play or get a good kill, she would just be like, next one, next one.
Yeah.
That doesn't matter. We're focused on our game right now. And I think that's so useful and such a good thing, especially when you're down to you have to stay focused on your side of the net.
Yeah. Think about how hard a reverse sweep is at in an away game. That's so hard to do.
Literally.
It's crazy.
It was really cool to see both teams, coaching staff. I thought they did a good job of talking to everybody. You know how, I guess more in high school level or maybe even lower, college division, there's that one player that the coach kind of talks through. But I noticed that the coaches were talking to everyone, and I just think that's really cool.
Yeah, I think that's great too. And it shows that they're not putting too much pressure on one person.
Yeah.
And they're trusting in everybody else to listen and hear what they're having to say.
Yeah.
Is that hard for you guys as coaches, or does that come naturally to spread it out?
Honestly, I'd say it comes pretty naturally.
Yeah. Especially because there's different things that we say to different people. And
Yeah.
I think especially us as coaches, we really cater what we say to each individual.
Mm-hmm.
We say we might explain things in a different way to different people because we know that they have different styles. But also it is easy, I know for me, just yelling at the setter, to just, to just be, or to the libero if there's something about defense, to be like, hey, take a step back on serve receive, make sure you tell everybody that, that sort of thing.
Yeah, and conversations with technique and strategy, yeah, definitely it's natural to go to individuals, but I think when it comes more to rotational and like strategic, it's easier to go to the leaders or the seniors of the team because they're the ones that, really the leaders of the team.
No, exactly.
And have a lot of influence on the girls and even how they play.
Right. And they're the ones out on the court.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I can only yell so much. My voice hurts.
Yeah.
Oh, but one thing I did want to say also about the Penn State coaching staff, I thought it was so beautiful and it made me so emotional how there was this sold out crowd. The rec hall is rocking and you have Coach Katie standing there at the helm of the whole thing. It was just really awesome to see a woman in a position of power and in charge of a successful and beautiful program. I just thought it was really great to see and really inspiring.
John Cook. He
John
disappointed
Cook.
me. Sorry, John. Sorry.
No.
Yeah, like love you, boy, but
Love you.
I agree. I was not overly impressed with him in person.
Maybe because we couldn't see his mouth, and I feel like on TV it looks like he talks a lot more.
That's true.
Yeah.
I couldn't see his lippies, but
yeah, maybe not the most animated.
Right.
Yeah.
But he just looked like a grumpy, like, grandpa. And I was like, ew, like, that's so annoying. But he produces legends, and obviously the players or his former players that he has on the coaching staff,
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
respect him and respect the program. So,
Exactly.
Just from a bird's eye view, I didn't
literally birds.
Yeah, literally a bird's eye view. Just didn't love it, but we don't know the inside.
Yeah, I actually think that shows a lot. Him having former players coming back.
Yes,
because like you said, that just shows how much respect they have for the program and they want to help the program succeed as well.
Yes.
Where as a man, maybe I'm not the one to talk about this, but I think that volleyball at that level, at the D1 level, can easily feel kind of like oddly enough, even though it's a women's sport, kind of like a boys club with all the coaches.
I completely agree with that. I think we're starting to get away from that, which is beautiful. You have coaches like Coach Katie and Danny Busboom Kelly and
Mary Wise.
Mary Wise, legend. But it's still a male-dominated field. Yeah. I think Grant and I talked about this the other day. I think Kevin Hambly's a great example, and the Oregon coach, Matt, I forget his last name. But I think they do a great job of letting the girls do the work. They don't seem to be harsh or, get riled up or angry or have tough tones. They seem to stay calm and really put the focus on the girls. And I think that's a huge thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes times do call for some anger and some, frustration. But I think I just see a little too much of it in unnecessary situations that can at least be perceived as toxic.
Yes.
You know what's crazy? My club coach, and Claire, I think we've talked about this before, but speaking of it being like a male-dominated coaching staff sport, my club coach was like a 40-year-old man with a huge beer belly, smoked cigars like in between morning wave and afternoon wave, and was missing a tooth. But what was he doing teaching us volleyball? How does that happen?
It just feels like he wants power.
Well, yeah, exactly. It's just crazy though. Some I don't know. I think a lot of the better coaches they've actually played themselves, but it's crazy to think that someone can be so good at coaching something they've never played.
Yeah,
Yes.
no tea, but did Russ Rose play volleyball?
No. And I
No.
don't think John Cook did either. I think he originally started coaching basketball or something.
Oh,
Wow.
Or no, it was football. He started as a football coach.
wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess coaching is an art in itself because there's a lot that goes into it, like just volleyball knowledge, volleyball IQ. I think it like a language. The younger you start,
Yes.
the more you take in, and the faster you learn. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with that. Coaching is an art form, and I think John Cook has a really great handle on it.
Yeah.
As much as I didn't love his grandpa energy. The fifth set was so crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was unreal because Nebraska really got a handle on it in the fifth set.
Yeah.
They really came out guns blazing, taking the bull by the horns, refused to lose. But then Penn State, I think with the energy of Rec Hall, got some fight and got some energy and came back.
Yeah. And a huge thing was anytime Nebraska got a huge kill, everything just was muffled.
Yes.
You could barely hear them. You could not hear them on the court.
No.
It sounded like crows, little crows in the crowd.
Yeah,
they're
in the distance.
Let's go. They have nothing.
Yeah, and we happened to be right above the Nebraska section, kind of, or adjacent to it. So we were, right in there, and they were loud. But I mean, compared to when Penn State would get a point, it was just nothing.
Right. Yeah. And they're just so talented. Even though Penn State came back, and I don't think it was ever tied 13-13, because I think Nebraska had match point, and Penn State fought off a couple. But it was heartbreaking. Penn State had it. It was there for the taking.
Yeah.
But you can't tip and roll whenever you're playing the number one team in the country.
Yeah.
That's the tea.
I do wish we could have seen Penn State's warm-up.
Yeah.
I know. It's so lit.
Yes, because they have a great routine, and you see so much from warm-ups, I think.
I wonder what Nebraska's is. I don't even know.
I don't even know either. I would love to see what that's all about, because I'm sure it's great. I mean, Penn State lost a heartbreaker in 5 to Nebraska, and then they did it again on Sunday versus Purdue.
Yeah.
Purdue went up
by 3 points.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
They started out the match 2-0, and Penn State battled back to win sets 3 and 4, and then just couldn't finish.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so that's something they're going to have to evaluate going forward into the tournament.
That's the toughest thing, and we say this all the time about Penn State volleyball. Being a Penn State volleyball fan, it's tough sometimes. They can take the number one team in the nation to 5 sets, but then lose to, well, I guess they were probably ranked similarly.
Yeah.
So
Purdue's
it makes
really
sense,
great.
obviously, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Volleyball's inconsistent in general.
It
at
is.
this level, we've seen it so much this year. All these upsets, you really never know.
Yeah, and I saw a bunch of teams. I think they play Sunday, and almost all of the scores were 3-1. Louisville and Clemson 3-1.
Wow.
Stanford, Washington 3-1. Pitt, Miami 3-1. Colorado, Oregon 3-1. So interesting that all happened on Sunday.
Yeah, but that's also what makes it so exciting, because
Yes.
obviously, if it really just went by the rankings and we were like, oh yeah, obviously this is gonna happen, this team's gonna win, then none of it would be fun.
No,
So
exactly.
it keeps us on our toes.
Also, the big upsets were, I mean, it's not a crazy upset because Georgia Tech was ranked 10 and Louisville was 3.
Yeah.
But I mean, still beating the top 3 team in the country 3-1, Go off, Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Florida State and Pitt, right?
I know,
Yes.
yes, 3-2. And the fifth set, it was 16-14.
Yeah.
Oh my
Florida State.
gosh.
And like
That's so lit for
So
Florida
lit.
State.
yeah. Like I remember seeing those scores come in on Twitter as we were at the Penn State game. And this happened after the second set. And I turned to one of you and I was just like, this is it. This is the night of upsets. This is going to happen. Penn State's winning in 3. This is crazy.
Yeah.
And that did not pan out. But
And then another 5-setter, number 11 Tennessee beat number 20 Florida 3-2.
Wow. And
Yeah.
Arkansas beat Florida. Oh, I was going to tell you guys this. So this high school where I grew up, it was like the 3A school. Mine was 1A. So like they're pretty,
Okay, cool.
yeah, pretty big. But they are really good at sports. And they have a girl right now committed to Nebraska. Which is crazy because
volleyball.
like she's like from my area. And
That's
not that
crazy.
girls in my area aren't good, but they're not Nebraska good. But the North Carolina state championships were yesterday, and she couldn't play in it because she's traveling with the USA junior team. Like she's practicing with them.
That's crazy.
So she missed her state championship to practice with the USA. Isn't that crazy?
Obviously, I don't know the situation, but I don't think people should miss big moments in their high school careers like that. But I mean, obviously, if it wasn't a choice, if it's like you either come make the national team or go play in your state championship, like obviously you don't want to give up your spot for the national team, but you're never going to get that year and that feeling and that community back.
Yeah.
And she probably got them there, like
for sure.
I think the high school game is so important.
I do too.
For feeling the sense of a successful program, like building a program. Like there's so much to learn from the high school game, even if it's not at the same level of club.
Yes.
I mean, obviously the national level is completely different. Like that's an amazing opportunity. But yeah, winning a state championship for your hometown, that's such a good feeling.
It is. And that sense of community, having all of the fans rally behind you. And, there is something to say for playing for something bigger than yourself. And I think that's really prevalent in high school. I'm happy for that girl. Go Big Red. Go USA.
Yeah.
I just wish she could have done both.
Yeah.
I know. 7 years ago, I won the state championship.
Aww. Congratulations.
Thank you. And then I think it was 6 years I won the second one. So it was crazy.
Awesome.
I don't really think about a lot of high school games. Like I had a really great high school experience and we were really got really good, which is really fun. But I only really think of the state games, even the playoff games. So to miss one of those would be crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And I just think with club getting bigger and bigger and obviously just the sport in general growing, there has been such a huge focus on club, which is important for recruiting, but I don't know. Why can't recruiters be showing up to high school games? I don't know. Or high school tournaments, because the focus is very much on club volleyball, which I think a lot of these girls' mentalities are, well, it's almost club. Well, high school season's almost over and maybe are losing. I'm not talking about our high school girls. I'm just talking about what I see in general.
Right. And my biggest thing with club is I think it teaches girls that the wins and the losses aren't as meaningful.
Yes.
Because if you lose a game, whatever, we'll get reseeded and play another one. Whereas in high school, there's not that finality where, if you lose, you're going home. But with club, you're paying for it. You're paying to go to these tournaments. You're guaranteed X amount of games. So it's just a different feel and the stakes are so much less.
I think there's a very small percentage of club teams that have that same feeling as a high school team.
Yes.
Because they are going to win the AAU tournament or to win USA Nationals. That caliber of greatness, and that's where you see these girls go to
huge
huge schools,
definitely.
But there's so many other teams that aren't at that really small advanced level, where it does get robotic and going through the motions.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Some big games coming up this weekend. On Friday, number 7 Pitt goes to number 8 Georgia Tech.
Oh,
Wow. That would be fun.
I really wish it was in Pittsburgh.
I know.
Because we
would eat that up.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that would be so great. Oh, Purdue plays Minnesota. That'll be good.
Yep. We're hoping to go to the Penn State game on Saturday.
On Saturday. Obviously, you're invited. Penn State, Wisconsin.
We need to get there early.
Yes,
Exactly.
exactly.
And we will definitely be able to, because if we win our state playoff game tomorrow, then we'll play Saturday during the day, and we're playing someone from the Penn State area. So
oh my gosh.
So hopefully it'll be
in between.
And then the game isn't until 8. So
oh my god, so we can really eat, you know what I mean?
I know.
Keep that up.
We can really eat some good food and then eat up warm-ups and eat up the game.
Yes. I was planning on getting food after the Penn State game, but it was midnight by the time I got out of there.
Yep.
And also my stomach, I don't know if it was the incline or ramp. My stomach was full of gas.
Literally same.
I farted so many times throughout the game.
As soon as I got outside, it was just a constant stream of air. Like
it's a whisper. Every time there was a monster block, there was a monster fart. Like, I promise you.
That's so hilarious. Oh my gosh.
So I couldn't get a snack after because I just was floating away.
We can see Kelly Sheffield live in action. I really want to see Izzy Ashburn in real life.
I bet. Oh my god.
Because in my mind, she's tiny.
Yeah.
She's like 5'10".
Right.
Yeah.
But I think she's like 5'10".
Yeah, which is so dope. Like,
okay, I bet the Purdue-Michigan State game is going to be good because Michigan State's on a roll right now.
Yeah.
that's sweet.
Yeah, I'm happy for them.
For sure.
Go get it. Number 25 USC, they beat Arizona State over the weekend, and they're playing number 9 Washington State on Sunday.
Fun.
Yeah, that'll be good. I think Miami FSU will be really good.
Oh yeah.
I feel like they're pretty evenly matched, and they've both been playing pretty tough in the ACC against tough opponents like Louisville, Georgia Tech, and Pitt.
Yeah, wait. So FSU played Pitt.
Yes.
Pitt played Miami, right?
Right.
And then Miami's playing
FSU.
FSU, yeah.
Yeah, and because Miami took a set off of Pitt.
Yeah.
And then FSU beat Pitt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's going to be very interesting to see how that pans out.
Definitely. Minnesota, Indiana. I think that'll be a good game.
Okay.
I think Indiana can take them.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially,
I really like Indiana.
I love Indiana. I just want them to be really good, and I want them to be ranked.
How are they not? They've had like 3 upsets.
I know. I think they lost. Ohio State beat them 3-1 over the weekend. Ohio State, Maryland. UCLA, Washington. That'll be evenly matched. But that's all for the weekend. Looks like another great weekend of volleyball.
Isn't it always? Honestly.
I mean, yeah, it always is.
Okay, Claire, go. Bump and spike.
Yeah.
Okay, so my bump. Wait, so the bump is bad, right?
Oh.
Or is the spike bad?
I don't know.
I was thinking the spike was bad.
Me
And
too.
the
I
bump
was thinking
was
the bump, you're like bumping up. Good.
Oh, interesting.
wait,
Because
no.
I was thinking
Wait,
bump in the road.
Yeah, wait, no, I was thinking that too.
Okay, I'm like pretty defense oriented, so that's probably why I went towards the bump.
For sure.
Like,
Right.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
we can do bump bad. That would make sense with
Okay, cool. I will do. So my bump that's bad is my car's in the shop and he needed to order a part for it, so it won't be here for 3 to 5 days. So I don't have a car for 3 to 5
Wait,
days.
is that
Yeah.
expensive for you?
It might be, but this guy who's been doing it is really great. Like he's dealt with her a couple times just because it's the same problem. So I think, but I do have to get a new car. I'm gonna have to trade her in, which I just don't want to spend the money. But also, I'm coming around to the idea. I was really averse to it, but
Right.
I have to be a big girl, and I I have to do it. So that's my bump. My spike is that we had a really great Freeport volleyball practice.
Yes.
And well, more specifically, I was a baller setter.
Yes.
And I was setting from the back row, and I had a lot of assists to Granty over here.
Exactly.
And I also did a one-handed set to the middle, like jumping up when it was tight to the net. It was,
oh my god.
I think you
I
were.
think I
Yeah,
was, yeah.
Grant was the middle, so it was so fun. Yeah, that was my spike.
Are we doing
Love
like all around, like everyone do their spike and everyone do their everyone do their pump?
Well, I did my bump and my spike.
Oh yeah.
Grace, how about you go while Grant
Okay.
understands what we're doing?
Okay, cool. Okay, I'm gonna say my bump. I just had a lot of people complain to me all day today.
Ew.
And I was like, wait, you guys, I'm smiling, so why are you telling me all this bad stuff, you know?
Right.
So that was just draining. And that kind of reminded me of some of my roles as a team member in my
Right.
past teams. I felt like I was the scapegoat, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And that can get draining, you know?
Oh, yes. That can be emotionally exhausting.
Yeah, it's hard to be approachable. But
It is.
and then my spike, I took the day off tomorrow.
Fun.
Oh, nice.
Get after it.
All right, my turn. My bump was that I really realized today that I land on one foot, which is so bad. Like it's so bad. When I go up to swing, I land on one foot, especially when I hit line. So that was disappointing, and now my knee kind of hurts. Now that I'm really thinking about it.
Ouch.
And my spike was also, we had a really good practice today. It's tough because we don't have a ton of girls on our team right now, whereas in years past, we've had so many. But there's positives and negatives to it. Having a small team, they get a lot of work, but also when half or even more than half the team is underclassmen, it can be hard to have like a really, really competitive 6-on-6. So we just kind of had to swap Claire and I in for some of them so that they can really get a good look of what our opponents are going to bring.
Right.
But yeah, it was a really good practice, and Claire and I slayed. So.
Yeah. Yeah, so hopefully we play well tomorrow and we keep the party going. But either way, we'll see on Saturday.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yay. More Penn State volleyball, or more just volleyball in general.
Yeah. And we're hoping to go to some Pitt games soon.
Yeah. It just sucks because the Pitt Louisville game is on the day of the state championship.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have it in our heads that we can't go to that.
Yeah.
I hope you can't.
Exactly. That's what we keep saying.
But I want to fly to Atlanta and see Georgia Tech Pitt because I just really want to see some good ACC volleyball.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love that.
Oh, and also we need to chat and make plans about the national championship. Wait, Grace, I said fax no printer on the volleyball bus the other day. Like Grant and Kate, all the freshmen were like, no. It was really funny, but terrible.
You also said it kind of consciously.
I did, where I was like, this,
fax no printer.
Yeah, where I was like, this is gonna be cringe. Yay! Okay, well, we love you, Gracie.
All right, love you, Gracie. That was so fun.
That was so fun. We'll just have to make it a Monday night thing.
Yeah.
Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Best of 5 podcast. Come back next week as we get ready for the last week of regular season play. Like and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, and make sure to follow us at Best of 5 Pod. Why is volleyball the best sport in the world? Because it's the best of 5.